that year before that even happened.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our special board meeting. Mr. Hill, if we could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Ballard?
Here.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Mr. Sturgill?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. And do we have a special guest for the pledge? If we come and introduce our guest. And Ms. Miller. Oh.
Okay, good evening, Board. Superintendent. I'm Christine Miller, principal at Longfellow Middle School, and tonight I have the pleasure of introducing Tatiana Smith, 7th grader. She's the daughter of Elizabeth Smith and Timothy Blakely. She has 2 brothers and 3 sisters. Tatiana's in the art club at Longfellow Middle School. I also have Joseph Haddix here. Joseph is also a 7th grader. He's the son of Joseph and Heather Haddix, and he has 4 brothers. Joseph participates in the wrestling team at Longfellow Middle School. So he's missing practice tonight to do the pledge. But they are also going to give, after the pledge, they're going to be speaking on Veterans Day. I think Joseph is also going to invite you to our Veterans Day Assembly tomorrow at 2:15, which Tatiana and Joseph put together themselves, along with their teams, right?
Very
So please stand for the pledge.
And our small flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to go stand over here so I can videotape for you. I'm going to stand and videotape. This is Mom on the video.
Okay. Veterans Day. Veterans Day is to honor those who served in the military and remember the sacrifices they made for our freedom. I am glad to know that we will be safe at all times and I can go to school and learn without anything bad happening to me. I would like to thank all the veterans for risking their lives for me, my friends, and my family. Thank you, veterans, for keeping me safe. And I'll pass this to Joseph.
Okay. It's an honor to be here. I think people risking their life for us is pretty remarkable and brave. And I think it's good to know that I'll be able to grow up being safe and smart and being able to be my friends and taught by these fabulous teachers. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is celebrated to honor soldiers who served in the military. Veterans Day is on the 11th because an agreement was settled on the 11th hour, 11th day, and 11th month in 1918 to stop fighting World War I. President Wilson first announced an official day to end World War I in 1918. Veterans Day used to be Armistice Day in November 11th of 1919, but in 1938 it was turned into a national holiday and renamed Veterans Day. Veterans Day is sometimes confused with Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is to honor people who died. And however, Veterans Day is where you honor people who served in us in the military, alive or deceased. In conclusion, Veterans Day was made after World War I, was made to make peace, was used to honor people who served us, deceased or alive, was President Wilson was one who helped us make Veterans Day, and it used to be called Armistice Day, and it was made on the 11th day, 11th month, and 11th hour of 1919. Thank you. And I would like to say we would like to invite all of you to our assembly at 2:15 tomorrow for Veterans Day.
Thank you, Joseph. And Joseph, do you have any family out there? Huh? Anybody else? Anybody introduce anybody? Right now, you don't want to? No? Thank you very much for not just for the presentation tonight, but as I mentioned back there, although I said it was Monday night, Thank you for spending your Thursday night with us. Gorgeous night outside, but coming and sharing a very special cause with the entire community. And thanks again for putting on the entire assembly for tomorrow. That's very, very classy. Thank you very much.
All of these are interesting. That one, I actually would learn stuff that I just absolutely didn't know. That was kind of...
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, it was kind of...
I have certificates.
Mhm.
Tatiana? Thank you. Joseph, thank you.
Nice job.
Mr. Bott, are we doing a picture? So a couple things. We are wearing our Titans gear in support of our Gridiron Titans, who will make a trip down to Mansfield to represent us tomorrow. And so best of luck to the Titans. And also, Miss Miller, I thought you would, be excited about this. Our alumni, Elyria City Schools, passed a levy. So congratulations to Elyria City School for passing that bond issue. That's an amazing thing. We've been the beneficiary of the generosity of citizens, and it gives us this facility we're in, plus all the others. And so congratulations to them. It was much needed, and I'm sure much appreciated. So we're still the newest high school. So. With that being said, can we move on to any recognition of other visitors? I think we have some guests from Digital Academy. So please introduce
Ma'am?
yourself to
Yep.
everyone.
Good evening. I'm Karen Mahan, Executive Director of the Lorain K-12 Digital Academy. And I'd like to say good evening to the board, to Dr. Graham, to Josh Hill, and to the audience. I'd like to share just for a few minutes a little bit about Digital Academy and what we've been doing towards the end of last year and moving into the 2015 or 2016-17 school year. Lorain Digital Academy, we're hoping to move towards the future. That is what our work is about. It's sponsored by the Lorain City Schools. And our board of directors include E. Jean Rice, who is president, David Arredondo, who is vice president, Dottie Anderson, Amber Knowles, and Dr. Ted Raponi. Our mission and goals of the Digital Academy is to help each student succeed by basically meeting requirements to graduate and being prepared for the future. We are wanting our students to complete the required courses, pass their state test, and to be ready for college and careers to be productive citizens. To kind of summarize the work that has occurred, especially in the last year or so, as you can see, the Digital Academy started in 2003. They had their first two graduates in 2005, and it kind of went up and down. In 2015, 27 students graduated, and in 2016, in May of 2016, we had 37 graduates. So it was a significant increase for this past school year. Okay, we have a number of challenges. One being we are identified as being in high priority school improvement due to a 4-year and 5-year graduation rate, which is required by the state of Ohio. It's on our report card. We take students who are 18, 19, 20, and we actually had a couple of 21-year-old students who are entering in the 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. So they've already missed that opportunity, and we've missed that opportunity of having a 4-year or 5-year-old graduates. Yet, we do have students who graduate, as you can see by that number of 37. We also have challenges of the percentage of students who are passing the OGT and state test, and that drives our work for this year. And other challenges that impact student progress, such as students who come to us who are already parents and they're juggling children, working, their work schedule, and many other challenges that face them day to day. And we try to help to give them the support that they need to be able to meet that mission and that goal of graduating and being productive citizens. So our plan. We took a look at what was occurring throughout the school year. I talked with students, with staff, with parents. I looked at our fiscal situation. I looked at data, and we came up with a plan for what we wanted to do to really organize the digital academy and focus the work of the academy. So we established expectations for student engagement. We looked at what kinds of things can a student do to be actively engaged. We also developed a meeting with the student and the parent prior to enrollment, and during that enrollment opportunity, we do an education plan for every single student, both the students who are new to Digital Academy and the students who are coming back to us. So we have an opportunity to talk with the student and parent. What are your goals? What are the things you want to see happening for your student or for your child, and what can we do to support that? And we look at that plan, and when things are not working, we pull the plan out and we call meetings back with the parent and student and see what kind of changes do we need to make to help your child be successful. We also look at utilizing technology to support learning beyond the e-curriculum. We are an e-school, so students access the curriculum through laptop and through a digital platform. But we also want our students and parents to be actively engaged in learning and technology. One opportunity that we have is called Jigsaw. And Jigsaw is like FaceTime or Skyping. So if a student cannot come in and meet with a coach, they have the opportunity to meet with that coach via Jigsaw and maintain their appointment, and the coach can work with them individually on any skills that they may need additional help with. We also have our website contact with what we call the Digi-10 spot, and so we have our coaches have already posted a couple of vignettes and are working to post more with tips, with instructional ideas that perhaps they've seen that students are struggling with, and the students are not coming in, so they have a chance to access that 24/7 through our website. We also train our parents, and a part of orientation that every parent has to participate in. They are trained in Jigsaw technology as well. They are given a Gmail account so that they can maintain contact with us, and through our technology, they have 24/7 access to student progress. They do not have to wait for the mid-quarter interim report or the report card at the end, because we're a continuous progress school, so they have 24/7 access to how well their student is doing, how many hours they're putting in, etc. We engage students through non-academic supports, and we've established several clubs. We have a media club where students are actually learning how to produce iMovies, from developing the storyboard, the dialogue, which ties into language arts, deciding whether they want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera. We also help them to learn how to actually do a film, and part of that process, they are actually working on developing, and they can choose to do this or not, developing a video film through CNN's C-SPAN. They have a contest for students, and the student who wins top prize is $5,000 to use as they want. So we're preparing them with that foundation, and there are a group of students who are actually working on a video plan to be able to submit. Some of the other non-academic activities, we just completed today our computer maintenance club, where students actually learn about not only the components of a computer, but they actually broke down and rebuilt new computers. So they're learning that hardware skill. In addition to, they will be now starting in coding, computer language. So they're going to learn computer language and developing their plan. Let's see, we have another where later in the school year, we will have students working with, we're hoping to purchase a small 3D printer and develop a makerspace so that they actually can create a product, and they'll work together and follow the steps to create a workable product. We also are looking to do some family activities, events, and I will share that when we get to parent engagement. But again, we're trying to do the supports for the students so that they have an opportunity to socialize in a structured environment that is meaningful. Teaching parents technology skills to support student achievement. Again, we're looking at parent engagement, and we're looking at opportunities for parents to learn and build on their technology skills. That is not just the student, and to be able to use that to support student. So they are learning Jigsaw and some other technology skills to be able to do that. We're also engaging parents to team with the Academy via non-academic means, and for that we're doing some family connection activities. We're planning for that, where the student and the parent can work together, come to our school after school, and work on projects together. Last year we had a sewing club where the parent and students came together, and they made aprons and pillows, and we also did a media group for the parents. And this year we're looking at some other opportunities to build that family connection. In addition, we have, of course, our title parent meetings, and we're looking at monthly coffee clatches where it's more informal and parents have an opportunity to discuss topics of interest to them. Again, preparing students to be career ready. We're looking at opportunities to guide students after they graduate and before. We have a student who is in a College Career Plus program. We are encouraging students to access whatever activities or resources that are in the community that can help support them and build their skills upon graduation. Our successes. Very quickly, I like to share several successes. We had a 21-year-old student who came to us as an 11th grader at the beginning of last school year. She didn't think she was going to make it. She was referred to us. Not only did she graduate at the end of March, she completed her last class right before spring break, and she walked. And all of the students that I highlight here are all students who did eventually graduate during last school year. Some of them were 10th graders, 11th graders, and seniors needing a few credits. We had a student transfer from Horizon Academy. He needed a couple of classes, and he completed those, and he graduated by January. We had a 20-year-old parent with children. She worked really, really hard. She graduated, and she walked with tears. We had a 16-year-old student who actually graduated early, completed all of her coursework. She came in as a sophomore, completed her coursework, passed all of her tests, and graduated early. We had a transfer student who moved to Lorain from the Clearview district and actually graduated early before the date and walked. And then we had students who not only completed their coursework and graduated, they actually started attending Ohio Business College and LCCC before the end of the school year, but they came back to walk as well. And we had a student who actually was accepted by Kent State and Bowling Green State University, and she ended up going to LCCC at the end of the year, but she had those acceptance letters available to her because of the work and the support, the work that she did and the support that we gave. And then very quickly, I'd like to share a story. It's Jonathan's story. He was a student who came to Digital Academy, and I'd like for you to hear his story.
Definitely I would. The school really, it helped me out a lot because when I was at Lorain High, I didn't have a lot of time to really learn and grasp anything because the teacher would have to move and move and move and move, stick and move, and it was only like an hour and 35-minute class period. So I was able to sit and have my time that I needed to actually learn thoroughly what I needed to learn, and I could take those skills with me, you know, throughout life and everything like that. So yeah, Digital Academy really helped me as far as education goes. Some benefits are that I was able to focus more on bodybuilding, and I was able to sleep in till about noon and wake up and do school till about 5, so I would be able to get as many hours of sleep as I needed, do my 5 hours, do what I needed to do, and still be able to go to the gym and work out comfortably and not just be so beat tired from waking up at 6 in the morning and not even learning anything really, because an hour and 35 minutes is kind of hard for me to do that. Walking in here with my mohawk definitely are some of my favorite memories. I remember dyeing it a bunch of different colors, and just how I used to be back then and how I am now it's crazy.
So would you say that you've changed for the better?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely grew up. I definitely changed for the better.
And do you think digital played a part in that?
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys really did, because I felt like everything was independent, so it kind of forced me to grow up. So yeah. Well, let's see. I liked physical education, and I liked physical science. There was a tutor named Miss Cable, and she really helped me a lot. You know, without her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, probably. She actually sat down with me and was able to work with me one-on-one and show me how to do things that I couldn't really do, or show me a way how to solve a math problem that, you know, kind of blew my mind in a way, because it made it so much more simpler than the way that I was doing it.
Perfect.
So she really helped me out a lot. It would have been a lot harder. I don't think I would have graduated this year, though, because they showed me a lot of tricks. Just being here in general, because it's just such a great staff. Everybody's friendly. From the day that I walked in 2.5 years ago till today, everybody has a great attitude. The staff is friendly, and if you guys are having a bad day, you guys don't push it off on the other students. I really appreciate that. I feel like we need more teachers like that. We have a police officer.
Yeah?
Yeah, right now I'm with the auxiliary, but I'm doing that to help the community, kind of give back, and to just to show, you know, that there are good people out there, and there are people that are out there willing to help other people, even if it's for volunteer work.
To end, I would like to share with you Revenge of the Forgotten Teen. I'm not going to show you the video, but I invite you to go to our website, www.loraindigitalacademy.org, click on Quick Links DigiTube, and you will be a viewer of our first movie that was done last spring by our students. I think you will enjoy it, so I invite you to do that, and I thank you for the opportunity to share with you what we're doing at Lorain Digital Academy. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This time we would entertain our first hearing of the public. They're lining up. I need a motion to approve or amend the signed minutes from the meeting held on October 17th, 2016.
So moved. Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes. Is there any old business for discussion, gentlemen? Moving forward to report and recommendation to the treasurer. Mr. Hill.
Recommend for approval items 8.01 to 8.03.
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes. Report and recommendations of the superintendent. Dr. Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I'd like for the board to consider recommend for consideration 10.01 to 10.17.
We need to do that without 10.04. Bill, what was the number?
It might be 05.
Oh, that is right, that is you. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
So 10.01, 02, 03, 04, 06, 07, 08, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to 16, correct?
Excluding
17,
17.
yes.
Everything excluding 04.
Okay.
So moved. Support.
Yeah, wow, I'm looking at this list, it's like, roll call, please.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And I have the board consider for approval 10.05.
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Abstain.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Nice catch, thank you. I'd like the board to consider for approval 11.01 to 11.12 operations matters.
So moved. Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes. If we could go backwards, we've already passed it, but just for clarification, understanding, there was an item that I remember reading. It was the HR Specialist Finance Liaison. Can we give a little context?
Yes,
That's
Mr.
something
Bennett.
we talked about. We talked about it a year ago. We're trying to. This is that place where we're trying to find that right connection between HR and
Correct.
finance. So if you could share that with the board, so we know where we're at. with that.
right?
Yes. This is through multiple meetings between me and HR. We sat down, me and Carol, and kind of went in and tried to figure out a job description. I feel like in the past that it's communication issues, but as well as just overall disconnect between, I guess, the information HR needed and the information treasurer needed. I felt like we had tried to fix the problem in other ways, but never had, I think, maybe enough, trying to think of the correct word, maybe just not enough, this will make it to where we're more skills, a stronger skill set, I think, for what we're needing to kind of connect the two. I had mentioned in the past that we're looking to go towards the HRIMS system, PeopleWorks, which will link, I guess, the way HR looks at the personnel position, and the treasurer's office looks at the positional database and kind of merges the two. This will kind of help that not only get the information correct, clean up the information between both offices, but also help that transition to where I think it's going to achieve a lot of efficiencies in the future, to where we might have some possibility for further collaboration. I think this definitely pushes us more towards the possibility of future programming upgrades, whether that be a stronger financial software or a stronger maybe a time clock system, things like that. This is the first step in the process to get us towards that. So in order to go to one of those possible directions, we need to definitely get the information between the offices cleaned up and kind of repackaged to where we can fit them into those kind of softwares. So this is the first step in a long process. I did do a cost analysis breakdown to show roughly, because in the future this obviously will, I took kind of the combination of where I saw the office in 3 years, both the HR and the treasurer's office, and between upcoming retirements and kind of shifting positions and things like that. I did the cost break-even analysis, also included the cost of the PeopleWorks software in here, and over basically 3 years from December 1st of 16, it should be almost break-even. And then we have that ongoing savings of the actual personnel cost savings. So, and that's just through retirement, non-replacement attrition type situations, while also adding in that new position. So it's kind of just taking the staff we have, kind of restructuring them, utilizing them for their what they do best, and kind of trying to become more efficient overall between not only my office but between both offices. So Any other questions?
I would like to applaud Josh and Carol for the process they followed. There were a lot of inefficiencies in terms of process between HR and the treasurer's office, and instead of looking for a couple of Band-Aids or a short-term fix, they took their time, they did it right in a way that is not only cost-effective, but creates some huge savings down the road, and again, things should be much, much, much more efficient moving forward, so, yeah.
We had tried to do this in the past, and we really weren't successful at it. So I'm glad to see it coming, you know,
Oh, yeah.
because we had tried this with we tried it and they kind of let it go, and other things took over. So you know, I'm glad to see it happen.
And I gotta have it, I did the cost break analysis, or cost even analysis, break-even analysis, but there's different points in here, then I can sit down, I'll forward you the email just to kind of let you know at which point, because you see a different savings number or a cost at, you know, these different chunks of time, and I can give you exactly what the assumptions are based on those. Overall, I think it's not only a good, but it's a very achievable plan. It'll definitely fix the issue we have. So.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, where are we?
12.
Thank you. 12.
New business.
New business. No new business to discuss? Well, let's see, then I guess I need a motion for executive session, but before we do that, our next scheduled board meeting is, someone tell me please?
That, we have it scheduled, the second one, but that's during Thanksgiving week, I don't know
All right, so,
if we don't go
to
with
be
that one.
TBA, we'll look at that schedule. We'll also look at what things we may have to address before the end of the month
Mhm.
and determine if we can wait until December. So we'll let you know when that next meeting is, if that's fair to everybody. At this stage, I would like an executive session for, can I say all the above? C. Actually, I'm going to go A first. It would be A, 1. No, A2, employment. C, conference with attorney for the public body concerning disputes. Any others, gentlemen?
Probably A7 instead of A2.
A7?
Instead of A2, I would think it's more of a compensation. I don't know.
Okay, so A7, A2, A7, and C.
See, okay.
Motion.
So moved. So moved.
Roll call, please.
Motion for all of that.
Mr. Demakia,
Whatever it was. Yes.
Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.